Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sparkle and Shine, the podcast where we talk all things cleaning, organizing, and creating a home you love. I'm your host, Laila, and today we're diving into one of my favorite topics, decluttering. With a new year upon us, it's the perfect time to hit the reset button on our spaces and our minds. So, grab your coffee, tea, or cleaning gloves, whatever makes you feel ready to tackle the day, and let's get started. I'll also be sharing some fun personal stories, listener tips, and additional strategies to help you along the way. So stick around for this value-packed episode. Before we jump into the how-to, let's talk about why decluttering is so important. A clutter-free space isn't just about appearances. It's about creating a home that feels calming and inspiring. Studies show that clutter can increase stress and even make it harder to focus. And let's be honest, isn't it way more satisfying to walk into a tidy room? Here's a little story from my own life. Last year, I decided to tackle my own home office, a space I'd neglected for far too long. I'm talking piles of paper, cords I didn't even recognize, and a mug collection that would make any coffee shop jealous. The moment I cleared it out and found a place for everything, my productivity skyrocketed. It felt like I had a brand new space without spending a dime. That's the magic of decluttering. Speaking of clutter, my 5 cats and 1 dog are experts at creating it. Between pet toys, food bowls, and the occasional fur tumbleweed, it's a constant battle. But keeping their items organized has made a world of difference. I've designated a specific basket for their toys and a separate bin for leashes and grooming supplies. It's amazing how much easier it is to manage when everything has its own place. Think about it this way. Decluttering is like giving your home a spa day. You're removing what's no longer serving you, so you can fully enjoy the space you've worked so hard to create. And remember, your home should be your sanctuary, not a source of stress. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, JP Carpet Cleaning Expert Floor Care, our sponsor, can always help give your space a deep, refreshing clean. Now that we've covered the why, let's dive into the how. Here are 5 simple steps to declutter your space without feeling overwhelmed. Trust me, these work because I've tried them all, and so have many of our listeners. Okay, number 1, start small. Pick one small area, like a drawer, shelf, or even your purse. The goal is to build momentum. Once you see that small win, you'll be motivated to keep going. One listener, Sarah from Glendale, shared that she started with her junk drawer and ended up organizing her entire kitchen in a weekend. It's all about taking that first step. For me, it was the cabinet under the sink. You know, the one where random cleaning supplies and grocery bags go to die. I spent 20 minutes sorting through it, and now I actually know what's in there. Bonus, I found an unopened bottle of my favorite cleaner I thought I'd run out of. Score, no more need to go to the store for that. Step 2, use the 4-box method. Grab 4 boxes or bins and label them. Keep, donate, trash, and relocate. As you sort through items, place them into one of these categories. It's a simple but effective way to stay organized as you declutter. And here's a pro tip. Keep the donation box in your car so it's easy to drop off. So keep, obviously, means things you're going to keep. Donate and trash, of course, mean donate and trash. Relocate is the one that's a little tricky. Basically, the relocate box is you found something in one room that actually belongs in another. Okay, so maybe it wasn't that complicated. Step 3, ask yourself key questions. For every item, ask yourself, do I use this? Do I love this? Does this add value to my life? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. I'll be honest, I've had to say goodbye to some questionable fashion choices during this step. Goodbye 2005 sequin top. Step 4, tackle one room at a time. Focus on one room before moving on to the next. This prevents the overwhelm of having stuff spread out all over the house. My advice, that I should probably learn to follow myself, start with the room that bothers you the most. It'll feel like a huge weight lifted off your shoulders once it's done. And pro tip, or not pro tip, really seriously, stick to one room at a time. This past weekend, I started in the bathroom, organizing like a bunch of lotions that my sister and I share. And then I was like, oh wait, I have some of this stuff in my room that belongs in the bathroom. So without finishing the bathroom, I went to my room and started organizing there. And while I was in my room, I was like, oh wait, I have stuff in the kitchen that belongs in my room. So without finishing my room, mind you, the bathroom is still undone, I went to the kitchen to start working in the kitchen. By the time I was done with the kitchen, it was 3 hours later, and my room was a disaster, and the bathroom was all torn apart. So learn from my mistakes. Start with one space at a time. And step 5, something I probably should have done over the weekend, set a timer. Dedicate 15 to 30 minutes to decluttering each day. You'd be surprised how much you can accomplish in a short amount of time when you're focused. Plus, setting a timer makes it feel less daunting. You could do anything for 15 minutes, right? And it's way better than 3 hours. One of the hardest parts of decluttering is letting go of sentimental items. I get it. These things hold memories, and it can feel like you're throwing away a piece of your past. But here's the thing. Your memories aren't in those items. They're in your heart. So let's talk about how to handle sentimental clutter without the guilt. Keep the best. Let go of the rest. Not everything needs to stay. Choose a few meaningful items to keep and let go of duplicates or items you don't have space for. For example, my dad has a box of my grandmother's things, and she passed away long before I was born. But this box, it was a series of 4 or 5 boxes, and we went through it and kept the things that my father really, really remembered my grandmother wearing. And so now whenever he misses her, we pull out some of the items and it still smells like her. And every time he does that, he feels a little bit closer. We didn't need to keep everything. It was just cluttering up the space, but we did keep those really important pieces. 2, digitalize it. If you have a pile of old photos or documents, consider scanning them and saving them digitally. This way, you can keep the memories without the physical clutter. They even have these fancy, digital photo thingies. What are they? Like a frame? Oh my gosh, a frame that will cycle through various photos. And that's a great way to recycle your old photos. And number 3, repurpose items. Turn sentimental items into something useful. One listener turned her dad's old flannel shirts into a quilt, so she could still enjoy them in a practical way. The key is to focus on what truly matters to you and create a space for the present. And remember, if you're still unsure about letting something go, it's okay to give yourself time. You can revisit those items later. So, you've decluttered your space. Now what? Staying clutter-free is just as important as getting there in the first place. Here are 3 quick tips to help maintain your progress. 1, adopt a 1 in, 1 out rule. For every new item you bring into your home, let go of 1 old item. I do this with my pets' toys. It's amazing how fast their toy collection grows. It's almost like I have no control when it comes to buying cute things for my puppy. 2, and I like this one. Create a donation station. I love how that sounds. Keep a box in a closet or garage where you can easily toss items you no longer need. Once it's full, drop it off at a local charity. Bonus points if you involve your family in the process. And 3, schedule regular decluttering sessions. Treat decluttering like a regular chore. I said earlier, book yourself 15 to 30 minutes every day to do some decluttering, if that's like decluttering a drawer or decluttering your lotion shelf, if you're like me and have a lotion shelf. Whether it's monthly or seasonally, make it a habit. For example, use the start of a new season as a reminder to reassess your space. Right now, the beginning of 2025, I was almost about to say 2005, is a great time to do this. And here's a fun idea. Host a decluttering party with friends. You can swap items you no longer need or just support each other through the process. Decluttering doesn't have to be boring. Make it an event. And if you're looking for a way to make your floor sparkle for that party, JP Carpet Cleaning, Expert Floor Care has you covered. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to answer a couple of questions from our listeners. Number 1, what do I do with sentimental items? Great question. Sentimental items can be tricky. My advice is to keep the things that truly bring you joy and memories, but find creative ways to store them. For example, turn old photos into a digital album or frame, and maybe pick a few to display. One listener shared that they turned their grandmother's quilt into decorative pillow covers so they could see it every day. I know my mother and father took their favorite shirts that my baby sister and I used to wear as babies, and they stitched it into a pillow, and we keep that around the house too. All right, let's see. Here's a good one. How do I get my family involved in decluttering? Another great question. Start by leading by example. Once your family sees the benefits of a clutter-free space, they're more likely to join in. Make it fun by turning it into a game or challenge, especially if you have kids. For instance, set a timer and see who can fill their donation box the fastest. Whoever does is the winner and they get some sort of prize, right? With my younger sister, I like to turn it into a fun challenge. We'll race to see who can sort through a pile of items the fastest. And the winner gets to pick what's for dinner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It's a win-win. Okay, so that's it for today's episode. I hope these tips inspire you to start your decluttering journey and set the tone for a fresh and organized year ahead. Remember, small steps lead to big results. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And if you have any questions or ideas for future topics, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to me on social media or through our website at at jpcarpetandfloorcare.com. There we go. And if you're ready to take your clean space to the next level, check out JP Carpet Cleaning Expert Floor Care for professional cleaning services that make your home shine. Thanks for tuning in to Sparkle and Shine. Until next time, keep shining.